centuries ago, transported from their native lands to my faraway world. Here they were granted astounding powers and eternal youth. And returned to Earth. Their mission to watch over the human race, helping the good in it to survive and flourish.
Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your animated agent of awesome. Today we're talking about the 5th episode of the Space Sentinels / Young Sentinels, as they're still referred to in the cartoon itself. The Space Sentinels was their title the whole time I watched it. But this is called The Return of Anubis, and yes, I'm going to have some thoughts about that particular title, but we'll get into that. It was written by Don Glut, who did a great job. This is a very good episode. It was first aired October 8th, 1977. So, not quite, not 50 years ago, 48, 47. Be that as it may. Let's listen to a little more of the beginning here.
History, their names has become legend. Hercules, empowered with the strength of 100 men. Astrea, able to assume any living form. Mercury, the amazing athlete who can match the speed of light. Working together with me, Sentinel 1, and my maintenance robot, Mo.
Dipstick.
These teenage guardians form the greatest team the world has ever known. The Space Sentinels.
All right. Well, let's get a little further in here so we don't have to have a black screen talking to you. Before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, vote in the poll. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the notification bell and leave a comment. I really appreciate it, all the comments. We didn't quite get Gamma versus Monster X did not pass YouTube's muster, and no one could see it, so I just didn't bother to upload it. I don't know why, but we'll try again tomorrow. But get yourself the hummus of perfection and your favorite delivery item: carrots, spinach, pita chips, whatever you like. And let's talk about this episode. As you might have guessed, as being called The Return of Anubis, it's set here in Egypt. And we'll just turn down the music a little bit. And there you go, written by Don Glut. We've talked about him quite a few times recently, which is not surprising since he was always one of my favorite authors and really nice guy. All around good guy. Oh, yes, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why this pixelation is happening. There we go. Guess who? Guess what?
Within this tomb shall sleep the evil god of darkness, Anubis. May the light of day never again touch his eyes.
Another silly Egyptian curse. It's all poppycock nonsense. We shouldn't scoff at the old curses.
Collins, what are you doing?
I just want to get a better look at this Anubis.
Looks just like him. An excellent rendition of him.
Till the light of day again touches my eyes, or the beam of your torch, and now you three shall be the first.
I would have had him float down instead of just jump, but seemed to like.
The Power Pyramid.
So in the mid to late 70s, pyramid power was a thing. The Egyptian gods were at that point in time still not well known in this country, even by and.
God of darkness is free again.
Boy, that's a fate worse than death now, isn't it? So now it's time for our nonsense with the Sentinels.
See what I told you? They finally flipped!
Looks more like they've just plain flopped.
Hey, Herc, this pyramid power of yours isn't doing a thing for me.
That's because you're talking when you should be concentrating.
Okay, so how long do I have to concentrate before I feel anything?
the rest of your life and your rest of your eternal life. So pyramid power was a thing in the 70s. People would wear them or have them in in their houses. Some of them were neon and things like that. I mean, pyramids are cool looking, but yeah, there was a whole thing. This all came about, um, was that chariots of the gods. So all of that, and the young sentinels, the space sentinels, obviously were tying into that with their names.
Power source, more potent than any previously known.
Is it dangerous?
Possibly, possibly not. Its wave pattern is highly unusual, unlike any energy form we know.
Incredible.
So yes, the former god were the former gods ancient astronauts, and Don Glut was well aware of this, which plays right into this particular episode very well. Um, the fact that he looks like Anubis is interesting. There's your stock footage of them flying, oh, and there he is.
Everybody, back!
This is an exciting episode.
This is definitely not working.
That away. We did it.
I think I overdid it.
Don't quit now, Merc. We have to find that UFO.
I don't think
Wait
you're
a
gonna.
sec. Whoever or whatever we're looking for is obviously very powerful. I suggest we do this carefully.
I got an idea.
Now I know we're in trouble.
And yes, and here we go. I don't even know.
Termite couldn't get inside of this thing.
How about a mole?
So they had enough time to do some. I mean, Don Bluth is a really good writer, and knew you needed to have some lighter moments.
Gotcha.
Have some lighter moments in there. You should be practicing your martial arts, Merc.
On second thought, forget it.
And we have another one coming up here with another lighter moment. This is it's not an unserious episode, but, or I mean, it's not a frivolous episode, but it's not doom and gloom, though it starts out that way.
Looking for me?
Yeah.
Herc, Herc, I'm inside now. Sit tight while I take a look around.
Be careful, kiddo.
No problem.
Kiddo.
So far.
They must be. They must.
Someone is inside the pyramid, even though I sealed it shut.
The Sentinels must keep abreast of modern culture, because why would they kiddo? They have to be 400 or 500 years old themselves, if not thousands of years old. Didn't really think that through, did you, Astrea?
What are you going to do?
What's taking Astria so long?
I don't know, but I don't like it. Astria, do you copy? Come in, Astria.
So, it's Austria, is it? Well, Austria. Neither you nor your friends can stop me from my mission.
Oh.
To destroy your world.
Dun dun dun! And he's mummified her. Now, let's pause here. Well, let's go to a.
Commence preparations for link up with.
Let's pause here for a moment. Talk about Anubis. Um, he was worshipped in Egypt, of course, as far as back as the first dynasty, some 3,000 years BCE, before Common Era, and he was replaced by the middle. That was in the first kingdom, or middle. In the Middle Kingdom, from 2,000 years BCE, he was replaced by Osiris in his role of Lord of the Underworld. He was never evil. I mean, he guided people down to a protector of graves, god of funerary rites, and he does have the jackal head or the dog head. He's got a brother. Uh, let's see. Oh, Wepwawet, but he's got a white fur. The black fur is depicted of the color of the soil of the Nile, and also the decaying bodies turned black apparently. And Egyptians were dark, or are dark, darker than some people like your humble agent. His female counterpart is Amput, um, and then his daughter is the serpent goddess Kebechet. Now, I wanted to see Anubis is the Greek rendering of the god's names. He was called Anpu or Impu, and you can't make this stuff up. Just, the old kingdom was the jackal. That's why he's got the jackal head. And I know many people have named their dogs and cats Anubis, all sorts of Egyptian names. I myself had a cat named Athena long before I realized how important that name actually was to me. He's not related to either of the Sekhmet or Bastet, both of whom I follow their exploits. This says his equivalent is Hades or Hermes. But anyway, he's not a god of evil, or they usually give that to Set because of his Lord of Chaos and things like that. But like Loki was always called the god of evil, and he's not really. So be that as it may, let's go on a little bit here. Sentinel 1 wants to talk to Anubis.
Alien power source.
Roger, S1.
Now, the only problem is, how do we get inside this stone turkey?
No problem, Merc. We'll make our own entrance.
Stone turkey. Now this is a 5,000-year-old pyramid, and Herc's just throwing it away and destroying it.
At this rate, it'll take us longer to get inside the pyramid than it took to build it.
You have a better idea?
As a matter of fact, I do. Yeah!
I wonder how far the pyramids go down into the ground, underground. Uh-oh.
You and your friends will be together again as my prisoners.
He did not think that through for... Oh, look. It's a lizard or a... Probably a lizard. Sorry, frog. No frog. No amphibian. Look, kind of looks like a salamander.
Astria.
Astria? Astria, you and your friends will never escape this place.
Who's that?
Oops.
Anubis, he's the one creating all the power.
Guardian of the young sentinels. Where are they?
They're taken care of.
There must be a way out of here.
Kurt, I think the wide open spaces are right on the other side of this wall.
Say no more, sister.
You can tell the actors have gotten comfortable in their roles.
Open sesame.
Wrong part of the world there, Herc.
Sentinel 1, the power source
pretty
is
close,
still in
actually.
Anubis's hands.
I am presently in contact with Anubis. You may listen. As you can
And now the
see,
talking
Anubis,
starts.
your 3 prisoners are free. Request explanation
Here we
for
go.
your actions.
You are impressive, Sentinel 1.
Diddly, diddly.
And so I shall tell you all a story which begins long ago.
But he didn't even have a plan, so getting Anubis to monologue is pointless.
Building with a new power source, my power pyramid. But it was unstable, and its energy output caused a chain reaction within my planet's core.
That is the traditional Filmation explosion. Cartoon explosion, that is.
My entire world. It was during my long journey through space that I perfected my power pyramid.
So you kind of feel bad for him. I mean, he blew up his own world. This is very common in science fiction tropes. Your Earth.
Years ago, where I might help its primitive peoples with the power pyramid.
Nice city,
And
though.
perhaps in a
And
small
Egypt was
way,
around 5,000 years ago.
what I had done to my own world.
So good on Don for knowing his mythology, or at least his stories.
They attacked me with a strange gas. Before I could react, I slept the sleep of suspended animation.
And, obviously, Anubis was worshipped in Egypt. Now, perhaps on Earth, in this universe, the Sentinel universe, there was no Anubis to be worshipped. He was just, maybe they had different gods and goddesses on this in this continuum, if you will.
While I was telling you my story, I got a precise fix on your location.
So off he sends his little Destructo pyramid, more literally pyramid power that really works.
S1, what's going
Doors jammed.
Quick, S1! Can't that big brain of yours figure something out?
I am computing.
Compute all you like, Sentinel One, but within the minute, you will be reduced to scrap metal.
That power doesn't. How could his head fit into his body? That's a tiny little brain, maybe big brain casing.
5,000 years ago.
Sentinel One makes sense.
The people are the same, ignorant and intolerant.
How do you know? You haven't even given us a chance.
We may be able to help you.
Help me? How?
It may be possible to return you to your own world in a time before it was destroyed, but only with your cooperation.
Oh no, more time travel.
Impossible.
Why? Because of your foolish pride?
No, because I cannot. Whatever is set in motion by the power pyramid must complete its mission unless stopped by some external force.
I think that means us.
So she just immediately jumps to his pride, which he has, and of course, but that wasn't the reason. I mean, she didn't even say she was sorry for misjudging him then. And look, he gets to punch something in a 70s cartoon of all things. Oh, there's that live action explosion.
Speed of light, and that is why, guided by my computations, it will be able to return you backwards through time.
So that I can prevent the destruction of my own world 5,000 years ago.
Precisely.
Sentinel One, it would be my fondest wish come true. But before I leave, there is one final thing I must do.
Yeah, fix that, you jerk. I wonder if that is Alan Oppenheimer. I don't know who. I was looking to see who that voice was of Sentinel One.
Proceed,
Not Sentinel One, but Anubis.
Farewell, Anubis.
We'll see if I can.
Sentinels.
And they're the ones that brought him back to life. So we'll talk about time travel here in a moment. Yeah, oh, and he fixed it despite Herc's nonsense.
Thank you.
Now that's what I call pyramid power.
Yeah!
I don't know about the rest of you, but I've had it with pyramids for a while.
Ha 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 ha. All right. Well, we'll start the ending there. So there's a nice picture to talk about that on. Let's see if we can find out who did that voice. Come here. IMDb. Shrinkify that. Agent Kronos. Alan Oppenheimer was Man Wolf in 2 episodes. Actually, that's all it says. Oh, there we go. Hold on a moment. Let me click here. Manual and Morpheus, the Sinister Sentinel. Okay, so yeah, I can't. They really don't have. Nope, Ted is it only that one? Nope, they're not going to tell me unless it was George DeCenzo, who was also Sentinel One and Hercules, but they're not telling me. Yeah, no, we're out of luck here. Sorry, folks. Anyway, so this is a pretty good episode, though the time travel thing, because if he goes back in time and fixes what he did, he would never have never come to Earth 5,000 years ago. You know how it works. But it'll make your eyes go cross-eyed if you think about it too much. So until our next assignment, which tomorrow will be part 2 of Gamera versus Monster X. This is X7 signing off.